I didn't make the movie because I was a Blackberry fan. I just really loved the three characters. I loved the three guys. I liked their story. And if it hadn't been for Apple coming and destroying them, there would have been no film for me to make. Yeah, so I owe you a debt of gratitude.
Well, it was very interesting, though, in the beginning when these guys who love to play video games and work together and kind of hang out together and have movie nights together and were techies, were developing something that they didn't know if it was going to go or not, but they put everything in it.
Yes.
What made you want to do this besides the three guys? I mean, how did you get it started?
Well, you just said it, because it actually was that kind of fraternal spirit of trying to do the impossible with nothing that reminded me of what it was like to be a young filmmaker. And I felt like, oh, I'm actually seeing a connection to my own life, and specifically around the time that I'm making my first film with them. And so my co-writer and producer Matt Miller and I really zeroed in on this and kind of used that to illustrate the whole film, because all of a sudden it became very personal to me. And I thought, oh, I know what it's like to lose a friend because of a difference of how you want to approach the work, or what an outsized success can do to you socially and how it will change a culture. So really this movie was me sort of wrestling with those things that happened to me as a filmmaker. And it's why I was able to approach the film not really understanding what Blackberry was or even understanding the product. It didn't matter, because to me they were filmmakers, and that's how I understood them.
We are in a race to get this thing to market, and we are a year behind. I need a prototype.
I'll do it perfectly, or I don't do it.
Mike, are you familiar with the saying, perfect is the enemy of good?
Well, good enough is the enemy of humanity.
But it's that camaraderie and that crazy atmosphere of we're all in this together, and we're just going to throw everything at the wall and just have fun doing our job, that I really saw in this movie with that.
That's what I related to more than anything. I was like, oh, I get these guys, and I get what it feels like to think that you are doing at once the most important thing in the world, while at the same time being able to take it so easy while you're doing it, because all you care about is the fact that you're having a good time. And that really is a special kind of magic about being young, not knowing what you're doing, but also working as hard as you can to try to figure something out. It's a magic feeling that not all young people get to experience. I'm happy you guys did.
Well, it's a camaraderie with your friends, working towards something you're not really sure what, but you're having a good time doing it.
Yeah, and I think what people realize when they look back on their life, certainly is what I've realized, is that what you're working towards is the progression of yourself. That once you've gotten out of that, it's almost like a cocoon, and then you go, oh my God, it's not that we were trying to achieve anything per se, we were achieving our own identities through the group, and now look, we've almost graduated from this thing. And now we can be ourselves. At least that's how I feel. And it's so great to go through an origin story like that in your own life. I found it like, I'm still trying to figure it out. This movie was me trying to wrestle with these ideas in my own heart. But when I started putting the pieces together of that, it really started to help me.
Did you put the characterization that you had on anybody in particular?
What do you mean by that?
I mean, you were playing the role of the
I was playing Doug Cregan, yeah.
Right. But did you know what he was like, or
no, Doug is the only person who has absolutely no recorded interviews. He's very, very outside of the media. So I was lucky in that not only did the world generally not know anything about him, but even reporters, like people in media, had never met him. Like, he was a very shadowy figure. Very shadowy. So I got to kind of play him a little bit like myself, but also a bit like some people that I knew, sort of heroes of mine from that era, from the 90s.
Yeah, what can I do for you?
Okay, picture a cell phone and an email machine all in one thing. There is a free wireless internet signal all across North America, and nobody has figured out how to use it. It's like the Force. Sorry, have you seen Star Wars?
No.
Yes.
The fascinating thing about your character is that he turns out, you kind of play him as kind of clueless and the party guy, and he turns out to be the smartest one of all.
Well, you know what? I'll take good luck over good management any day. I don't think that he was the smartest, but you could say God rewarded him for his karma. That's if anything, yeah. It was not planned. It was not planned.
Let's talk a little bit about the movie making. The timing, the comedic timing, both on the set and with the editing, really stands out to me, especially in the first half of the movie.
Yeah.
The beats, the timing beats, you just really hit those marks.
I take too much credit for it because timing in film, unless you're shooting in singles, is almost all cutting. Timing is cutting, as you know. So yeah, like I spend a lot of time with Kurt trying to massage everything so that it reacts in a way that we both find funny. But a lot of that is done post hoc. A lot of it.
The guy's a shark.
I know how to market it, and I know who we can sell it to. But I want 50% of the company, and I've got to be CEO.
I don't know who you think you are, but deal. Are you joking?
But there is also a lot in expressions and reactions from each other as you're working together.
Yeah. Well, we're trying to listen to one another, and so all what you're seeing on our faces is me and the other actors really listening because we liked each other, and I think we liked watching each other perform, and so any of those expressions, especially from Mike, is him. Like he and I are really trying to figure out what the other one is saying a lot of the time because he's speaking kind of quietly, and I'm saying so much nonsense that I too like the expressions between Jay and I. I think they're great.
Controlled chaos. Would you say there's controlled chaos in here?
That's my operating style. I'm trying to make an environment where I don't know what's going to happen, and I'm not going for a specific outcome. I'm hoping something goes wrong, or something goes. I'm hoping to be surprised, and then to be able to pivot towards that surprise and capture it. That's why the cameras are shooting like documentary film cameras. It has an aesthetic, but it's mostly practical, and it's because I'm trying to shoot in such a way where at any moment anything could happen, and the camera needs to be just like you. Like let's say that I don't know, like the Kool-Aid Man broke through this wall, you'd be able to turn and see it, right? Where on a lot of film sets they don't have that opportunity, and so I want to be able to zoom in whenever I want, turn to whatever I want, because I'm trying to foster an environment where anybody could say anything.
But you're directing and acting at the same time, so how do you do that?
Well, I think it's just by creating that spirit beforehand. And then Jared, the cinematographer, knows that he can shoot whatever he wants. He doesn't need to run anything by me, right? He's shooting what's interesting to him. He's deciding when he wants to zoom in. He's deciding who he wants to cover in a moment. I mean, not all the time. When we're shooting two cameras, it's more specific. But I really trust my crew. And so when I'm acting and I can't give input, then I know that we see things mostly the same way.
Well, two questions. Do you stick to a script?
We have a script, and every single scene we run through the script, but we take a lot of diversions. But I think the script helps in this case because it gives us our ground floor. It's like solid ground that we can jump off of and things like that. But in the edit, not at all. We throw the script out right away. This movie bears no resemblance to the script.